What up, Fit Fam? Sam coming at you with a brand new workout. This is week, I believe, 8. Doesn't matter. Brand new weekly workout coming for you. This one, you got 25 seconds on the clock, 10 seconds in between. You are going to want something that you can press overhead for those dumbbells, and then you're going to want something a little bit heavier. You can use the dumbbells for this move as well, but you can go with a heavier kettlebell. I once again have my Thor style kettlebell right over here that I'll be using, but that's not until round 2. In the meantime, let's go ahead, get started with that trunk twist, reaching across that body, coming up on those toes, keeping it right here for 5 more seconds. Then we got your calf raises in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on both those feet, getting those hops in there. Not taking the hop. Don't forget, you can go for a calf raise, getting your heels off of the ground, but getting those heads in the clouds all the same. We're going to get that hip twist in 3, 2, 1. Now you can go ahead, step into it. You can bounce into it. Whatever works best. Try to keep those shoulders square. Use those arms to counterbalance. Give it here 5 more seconds. Taking it front to back in 3, 2, 1. Front to back hop, front to back hop. Now if you're not digging the hop, you can step into this, keeping it nice and soft. Maybe your apartment, maybe your building, whatever you're in is not digging those hops, no worries. Just keep that body moving front to back. We're taking it side to side though in 3, 2, 1. Side step, side hop. Whatever works, keep it going right here. 5 more seconds. Then we got your butt kicks in 3, 2, 1. Heels to that booty, run it out, run it out, run it out. Not digging that run. You can march into it as well. Get that heel up as high as you can. We're gonna keep it right here. 5 more seconds. Knees up front in 3, 2, 1. Knees up, knees up, knees up. Not digging that run. No worries. You can go ahead, step into it. You can step into it. I'm a little ahead of myself on that one. Drive that knee up towards that hip. Keeping it going right here. 5 more seconds. Then we got that step over knee drive. In 3, 2, 1. Drive the heel back. Get the skip. Keeping it right here. 5 more seconds of this. Then we've got your knee circle side lunge in 3, 2, 1. Knee circle side lunge. Step it out. Bring it around. Same deal. Personally, I like to stay on one side so I don't end up like backing my hips up into my couch. Speaking of your hips, make sure you're sitting back into your side lunge, not letting your knee track over your toes. Keep it going for 3. Here's 2. Then we got your up squats after this last 1. Bring your feet together, maybe down here. We got 10 up squats with a reach coming your way, coming on up, count to the very top, coming on back down. Let me hear you loud and proud, top of that reach. Ready? Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Arm circles going forward, feet moving, arm circles growing. Let them get a little bit bigger with every rotation. Once they're as big as you can make them, go ahead, put your palms up, flip it and reverse it. Start short and choppy. Let them get a little bit bigger with every rotation. Once they're as big as you can make them, bring them up, drop them down, biceps to ears, hands past those hips for 3, 2, 1. Love yourself, hug yourself, hug yourself, love yourself. Arms across that chest, big chest, shoulders back. Keep it right here. 5 more seconds. Then we got your T-pose in 3, 2, 1. Arms out to the side, stopping those feet. When I say down, slap those hard working thighs and down. 10 jumping jacks coming your way. Count at the very top, coming on back down. Not taking the hop, no worries. You can step into each jack. I'll start that way. And the last 5 with the classic jump. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, feel free to jog it out while I go over your first move. Your first movement is going to be a reverse lunge with a rotation. So to keep your chest nice and tall, step back into it, rotate over the lead knee, return to the top, hit the other side. Same deal, boom, pow, and we're up. This right here is going to hit a little bit of that thoracic spine, a little bit of that core, or all of that core in general, as we are hitting everything from the top of those knees to the bottoms of those armpits. With that said, go ahead, make sure your weights are nearby and handy. Like I said before, 25 seconds on the clock, 10 seconds in between. Kicking this off in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Step back into that reverse lunge, return to the top, and as you get down there, rotate over that lead knee, keeping it going right here. You can keep your hands together. You can pump your arms into it, bring the elbow around, keeping it going right here. 10 more seconds. If this bothers the knee, keep the rear leg straight as you step into each lunge. This will keep the knee a little bit safer for 3, 2, 1. Next up, side plank hip dip. We're taking it down to the ground. Hips in, eyes forward, shoulders back. Drop the hip down, raise it up. Drop it down, raise it up. If that's not for you, you can drop the bottom knee to the ground as well. Hips in, drop, drive, drop, drive. Not taking it to the floor. Another option, of course, you can go ahead, take it to an elevated surface, hips in. You can just hold this side plank. You can drop the hips down. Keep it going though. 4, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're up. Next up, you've got your scissor jacks. With your scissor jacks, your feet are gonna go back and forth. Your hands are gonna go up and down. In 3, 2, 1. Now, if the jump is not for you, no worries. Step into each one. Keep it right here. 25 seconds of work, but guess what? 10 seconds are already gone. You can step into this, you can hop into this. Just keep that body moving. If the overhead action bothers you, just pump the arms for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, we're gonna hit the other side of that side plank. So, if you were on that right side, go ahead and hit that left. Here's the elevated surface option. Keeping it right here. If you're not digging this, don't forget you can take it to the ground. Hips in, eyes forward, hips forward. Tuck it in, drop that hip. Keeping your knee in line with that hip. Your knee, shoulder, and elbow should all be in one line here. Drop, drive, drop, drive. Or extend that bottom leg. Try again. 8 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, next move. You got your alternating upright row. So grabbing one dumbbell in each hand, keep that chest nice and tall. Drive the elbow up, bring it back down. Alternating sides as you do it. Now, if this bothers the shoulder or the wrist, feel free to go for a bicep curl into a shrug instead. So you can curl on the one side, shrug on both, or you can curl on the one side, shrug on that side, and then hit the other. Otherwise, stick to that alternating upright row for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alternating lunge with that rotation once again. Let's hit it again. Step it back. Rotate, bring it up. Rotate, bring it up. Keep it going right here. 25 seconds on the clock. Now remember, if this bothers the knee, if you keep the rear leg straight as you step into it, lean back and feel that stretch in that hip and quad. Rotate over the lead leg, return to the top, hit the other side. Boom, pow. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back. We've got your side plank hip dip. Don't forget, this very same movement can be done not only from an elevated surface, but the wall as well. You can step your feet out. Just hold that side plank, leaning against that wall, feeling that stretch in those obliques, those lats, that serratus. Once again, same thing can be done from the ground. Main focus here, keeping your hips drawn in, drop them down, drive them up. You can keep it here. You can stagger those feet. You can drop that bottom knee. Just keep it here for 2, 1. Scissor jacks coming back at you. Feet going back and forth, hopping into it, or stepping into it as you see fit. Keep it right here. 20 seconds. And then we are back to your side plank hip dip, other side, in 10 seconds. Keep it going, looking good out there, guys. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Side plank hip dip, other side. Don't forget, wall, elevated surface, whatever works best for you. Keep that hip drawn in, drop, drive, drop, drive. If this is too much, bring that top leg forward. Still too much, drop that bottom knee. All the same. Make sure you're adding pressure though through this top leg to give you the stability you need. Feel that stretch, feel that activation in that IT band and glute medius for 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, alternating upright row. This is it. Then we're into that last set. Best set, hips in, eyes forward, bring it up, drop it down, bring it up, drop it down. Now, a slight bend in the hips is fine, but that's only to make sure that you clear that chest. Keeping it here for 12 more seconds. And then we are into your rotational lunge. Remember, if you're not digging either of these options, go for an alternating curl to that double shrug. Lunge with that rotation. Last set, best set coming at you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You can keep those hands right in front of that chest. You can put those hands on those hips. Personally, I like to keep my hands up. Something about the hands up in that rotation really just helps with that stability for me. So see how that feels for you. Make sure you're going over that lead knee. Drop that rear knee as low as you can and or feel comfortable for 3, 2, 1. All right, side plank hip dip. We're back on the ground. One side, hips in, drop, drive, drop, drive, in. Well, that's the buzzer. So now we're going. Now remember, you can stagger the feet. You can stack the feet. You can drop that bottom knee. Just keep pressure on that top legs, the inside of that ankle. Keeping it here for 10 more seconds. And then we are up into that scissor jack in 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming on up. Feet going back and forth on this one. Hands coming up overhead. And 3, 2, 1. Now, if the bounce is not for you, don't worry. You can step into it. Still bringing the hands up. Not digging this. Pump those arms into it. Keep it going right here. 10 more seconds. Whether you're hopping or stepping. Let it burn for 3, 2, 1. Done. All right, here we go. Side plank hip dip one more time. Remember, if you're taking to the elevated surface, you still can get a lot done from here. And you're still gonna feel it. This is still pretty intense, so you can even walk it in a little bit, just hold the side plank, take it to an elevated surface instead. Walk the feet out until you feel that contraction in those abs to hold you up, that pull on the shoulder a little bit. Make sure you're pushing down. Keep it going for 10 more seconds. And then we've got that alternating upright row one more time. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Grab those dumbbells, one in each hand. Chest nice and tall. Bring it up. Release. Up. Bring it in. Now, just like you're pretending to drive the elbow behind you, like you're hitting somebody behind you throughout that row. But if that's not for you, don't forget. Curl it up. Double shrug. Curl it up. Double shrug. Keep it going for 10. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Go ahead, get that drink of water, guys. We're gonna jump right in to round number 2. See you in just a second. All right, guys, here we are, round number 2. You're gonna go ahead and grab yourself a kettlebell in this one. We've got your kettlebell flutter kick with a chest press. Now, this is a narrow grip press, and the thing is with the kettlebell, this allows you to work a little less grip strength, as it is just kind of resting on your palms in this one. But getting into that position can be a little confusing or time consuming, so feel free to go ahead, use the 4 seconds that I'm gonna kick off to get in position. Me personally with the Thor kettlebell, it's almost like drawing a sword to bring it to my chest, so let me show you what I'm talking about. You're gonna go ahead, take it down to the ground. I'm gonna go ahead, grab my kettlebell here, here's the handle. I'm gonna just go ahead, hoist that right up. I'm just gonna let it rest on my sternum here. It's on my abs, it's on my chest. I'm gonna tip it a little bit so I can get my hands under it. Once under it, I'm then gonna go ahead, bring my shoulders off the floor, and I'm gonna drive my heels out and away from me. While I get those shortcut choppy kicks, I'm gonna press the weight up, bring it down, press the weight up, bring it down. Now, if this is not for you, you can leave one heel on the ground or just go ahead and focus on that boat pose. Press, release, press, release. Now, you want to keep your shoulders off the floor the entire time. This right here is going to make sure that you keep your abs engaged and you're not using your low back for this position. So, with that said, once done, I'm going to go ahead, grab that kettlebell, put it right over here next to my shoulder, and then I'm up. Problem solved. Now, if that's not for you, you can go ahead and use a set of dumbbells. Just go for a narrow grip, so keep them pressed together. I'll show you what that looks like in round number 2. for the regression. If you guys are not on the ground for this one, just go ahead, keep it standing with a push away march. Keeping it going, all right? 4 seconds on the clock. We'll take it to the ground for the first 15 seconds, and then I'm gonna show you guys the standing variation once again with that march and push away. I'm gonna use my lighter dumbbells for this one so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. Taking it to the ground. 3, 2, 1. Hit that kettlebell on up. Hands on it. Press, flutter kick, keeping it here. Now don't forget, if this isn't for you, leave your heels on the ground or elevate both heels with that press. For those of you not on the floor, grab those dumbbells or just the one. You're gonna go with a push away march for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next up, alternating forward lunge. We're walking on this one. Step it forward, up, step it forward, up, step it forward. Now personally, I like to just pivot into my next lunge. Boom, up, pow, up, boom, up, rotate, and I'm back. Dropping that knee and hip, keeping that chest nice and tall. If this bothers the knee, no worries, step forward enough so the rear leg stays straight, up, rear leg stays straight, up, turn it around. Keep it going for 2, 1, done. Next up, we've got your A skip. We're gonna go with the left side first. Drive that left knee, bounce into it, hop into it, step into it, whatever works best. Just keep that hip up, that chest up, and drive that knee up as high as the hip as you go. Now you're gonna stick to one side for this exercise. Exercise 5 will be the other side. What we've got coming up is a curl to press. Keep it going for 3, 2, 1, done. Grab your dumbbells, something you can press overhead, 1 dumbbell in each hand, curl it up, press it up, bring it down, release. Curl it up, press it up, bring it down, release. Keep it right here. If the overhead press bothers you, finish out that bicep curl and instead go for that shrug. This right here is very similar to what we did in round 1, hence why I'm bringing it back. It hits a lot of the same muscles, but just in a very similar way as opposed to the overhead press. In 3, 2, 1. Dumbbells out the way. We've got your A skip on the other leg. So I hit my left leg first. I'm gonna go ahead and hit that right. Tap and drive, hips in, chest high, pumping those arms, moving that foot, keeping it right here. You can bounce into this. You can step into this. You can focus on balance as well. Maybe only put like 10%, maybe 5% on that back leg. Keep it right here. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, we're gonna start from the top, but remember, if you're not on the ground with that flutter kick, push away, press, keep it right here. Press, tap, press, tap. Try to keep your hands under it or squeezing that weight, whatever it is you're using. This will still get that activation in that core, in that chest. Otherwise, if you're on the ground, keep that chest up. Keep those shoulders off the ground, feet up, press the weight up, flutter kicks, banana pose, whatever works best for 3, 2, 1. Kettlebell out the way, and we're up. Alternating walking lunge. Drop, step, drop, step. Not digging the walk, no worries. Feel free to go ahead, step forward into it, load up that hamstring, kick back to return, forward lunge. Now, as I'm doing this, you'll see I get lower into that lunge. This right here is gonna ensure that I'm using my quad of the back leg and the hamstring of that front leg. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, A skip, starting on that left side. Driving that knee, pumping those arms in 3, 2, 1. Keeping it right here. Not digging the bounce, don't forget. Control the bounce. Tap, drive, tap, drive, tap, drive. You have a number of focuses here that you can have in this exercise. You can focus on agility with that bounce. You can focus on power, getting that knee up there as high as and fast as you can, or you can focus on balance. Tap the toe, drive the knee, tap the toe, drive the knee. The choice is yours. Exercise number 4, we've got your curl with that overhead press. Grab those dumbbells, one in each hand, chest nice and tall, curl it up and press. Now you'll notice I have a little bit of a staggered stance here. One foot's right a little bit behind the other. This right here just helps me keep my leverage. You can square up if this is what you like. Otherwise, go ahead. Just stick to that curl and that shrug if the overhead press bothers you for 8 more seconds. Getting that sweet pump, yeah? I can feel it in my biceps. 2, 1. We've got that A skip on the other side. Right leg, tap, drive, tap, drive. Keep it right here. You can pump the arms into it. Tap the toe, hips in, eyes forward. Keep a neutral spine on this. It's very easy to lean back into it like this. This puts a lot of pressure on that back. Tuck the hips in so it's all square. Drive, maybe even give your knee something to aim for by getting that hand right over it. 7 more seconds, guys. You're almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. We're back at the top one more time. Flutter kick press. Don't forget, you got that march with that push away if you're off the ground, if you're not on the ground. Otherwise, bring that weight on up. Get those heels away, shoulders off the ground. Flutter kick press, flutter kick press. Try to get the weight to your chest, and then as you press it, let it line up with the shoulders. This right here loads up the pectorals and keeps your shoulders out of it for a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Fun fact, when it comes to pectoral work, chest work, you'll notice that your shoulders are your stabilizers. High knee, single leg, walking lunge, walking lunge. So, every movement is based in having a prime mover, a stabilizer, and an antagonist and protagonist muscle. Protagonist usually is the muscle at work, like for example biceps and bicep curls. Antagonist is what lets it happen. In that case, it would be your triceps. 2, 1. All right, so let's go ahead. A skip on this one. Drive the knee up towards that hip. So when it comes to your chest press, 2, 1. When it comes to your chest press, your shoulders are the stabilizing muscles. Your chest is the prime mover, and I'm pretty positive that your back is the antagonist. It's letting everything happen. So keeping that in mind, you want to use these muscles, keep this stuff in mind as you're going forward, or don't. That's what I'm here for. Keep it going, 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Next up, bicep curl with that overhead press. One in each hand, chest nice and tall, shoulders back, press it up, bring it down. Something's up with my left finger. My left middle finger, for some odd reason, just keeps getting pinched by the handles of these bad boys. Not the right hand though. Left is like, doesn't matter. Keep it going, 10 more seconds. You can go for hammer curls. You can go for that full rotation, for that more supinated grip towards the top, which is what I'm going for. Either way, keep those shoulders safe. For 2, 1, A skip. Other side, driving that knee. In 3, 2, 1, drive. Drive and tuck, drive and tuck. Keep it right here. Pump the arms, move the hips, get that knee up. I really hope I'm hitting the right side this time. I'm kind of concerned that I'm not. Either way, 10 more seconds, and then we're into that finisher in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Get that drink of water, folks. We're gonna be jumping right in to round number 3, or as I like to call it, your fun-filled finisher. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we're back at it with your fun-filled finisher. This is your core cardio finisher, your cardio finisher of my own design. Honestly, we do something like this at Impact X all the time. It's one of my favorite types. It gives everybody exactly what they want. Sweet abs and gets their heart rate up. So exercise number 1, you're coming on down into that bird dog crunch. So with your bird dog crunch, very similar to what we've been doing for this workout. We've done one side for one exercise. We've hit the other side for a third or fourth. This is the case for this. First and third movement will be a bird dog crunch. So you're gonna reach one arm out. You're gonna drive the opposite heel out. Then this heel is gonna come in as this elbow comes in as well. If you can make contact with them, that's fantastic. If you cannot, no worries. Get as close as you can, release, close as you can, release, and repeat. Now, as I said before, one side will be for that first exercise. The other side will be for your third. Exercise 2 is going to be a lateral shuffle. You're gonna come on up, shuffle, 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 and shuffle back, okay? Now you wanna keep your hips low, your knees soft, and make sure you don't step your feet in too close so you don't trip over them. Keep those feet nice and wide, hips low, and stay on those toes as you gallop side to side. Now, the rest of these moves, there's only 2 more, so you don't have to worry about them. They will come at you pretty fast. You got 20 seconds on the clock, 5 seconds in between, one time through, guys, one time through. So, bird dog crunch comes at you pretty quick. Let you guys get in position for this. Oh, if you're not standing for it, you can go for what I like to call your Saturday night fevers. Keep it right here. Bring that knee towards that elbow. Just tap that toe down. All right, here we go. Kicking this off in 3, 2, 1, go. Now remember, if you're standing, crunch, crunch, crunch. If you are on the ground, keep those hips in, eyes forward. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Keep it going right here. Flex the foot of that extended leg. 3, 2, 1. Coming on up. You only got 5 seconds to get that lateral shuffle. Kick this off in 2, 1. Side shuffle, side shuffle. Make sure you don't trip over your kettlebell like I almost just did. Keep it going for 15 seconds. And then we have got your, what's the thing? I don't know what the next thing is. Oh, there it is. Bird dog crunch, other side. I told you guys that earlier. Where is my head at today? Keep it going for 3, 2, 1. Taking it down. Driving that opposite heel out. Reaching out that opposite arm. Boom. Pow. Boom. Pow. Elbow to knee if you can make that connection. If you're not quite there, say your mobility of those hips isn't there. Crunch. Crunch and reach. Crunch and reach. Ha, 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 ha. Stay in the left. Stay in the left. Keep it here for 3, 2, 1. All right, now we've got a squat with a crisscross. Squat, crisscross the legs. Squat, crisscross. Now, I'm sorry. Oh no, that's a hip twist, sorry. Squat, hip twist. Keep it right here. Now, if you're not digging the hop, no worries. Tap each foot, get that squat in there. Tap the toes, boom, pow. Right back to it. 3, 2, 1. We're on the ground for your low plank hip dip. Very same thing can be done from an elevated surface as well. Hips in, drop, 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 drop. Keep it right here. Not digging this. Same thing can be done from an elevated surface. Keep it going right here. Just twisting those hips, keeping those shoulders square for 7 more seconds. And then we're all done. This is it. Hang tight for 3, 2, 1. That is all she wrote, ladies and gents. Go ahead. Go! Sorry. Get yourself a drink of water. We're gonna jump right into that cool down. All right, guys, so for your fun-filled, or I should say actually for your cool down, we're jumping right into it. Let's go ahead and regulate that breathing. In through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Now this time as you inhale, reach those hands on up towards the sky. Exhale, hinging at the waist, coming on down. Inhale, coming on up. Exhale, hinging at the waist, coming on down. Inhale, coming on up. And this time as you exhale, grab the wrist closest, or grab your left wrist. Lean towards the opposite side. So I've got my left wrist by my right hand. Now I'm leaning to my right. I'm pulling on my left wrist with my right hand. This right here is going to stretch out my serratus, those lats, those obliques. Keep your hips drawn in while you're here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, coming on up. Switching hands here as you exhale, leaning in the opposite direction. Keeping it here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, coming on up. Now this time as you exhale, open up your arms out to the side, palms facing out and away from you. Fingertips pointed at the ground. Keeping it here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bring your hands up. Interlocking your fingers at the top. Bring your hands down in front of you. Tuck your chin into your chest while you're here. Pretending like you're trying to pull those arms apart. Feel that stretch in your upper back, in those shoulders, because we're going to hit that chest right after this. So keep it here for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead. Bring those arms down and behind you. Give me 3 shoulder rolls to get that. 3, 2, 1. Once they're down and back, grab the wrist of the left hand. Pull down on it. Lean your head away from it. You're going to feel this stretch run right down the side of your neck, into that trap, into that shoulder. And if you really want to intensify this stretch, either raise your chin or tuck it in. You'll find that sweet spot when you do. Hold it there for 3, 2, 1. Switching sides here, so I'm going to grab my right wrist with my left hand. This time, I'm going to pull down on it, lean my head away, lift my chin up while I do this. Keep it here for 3, 2, 1. Releasing that hand, shaking out those shoulders. We're gonna hit that calf. We're gonna hit that lower body too. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, keep our chest high, chin high as well, hinging at the waist, coming on down. Reach for those toes. Now whether you can reach the toes or not, okay? I want you to bring your hands together and then drive and point them towards your heels here. This right here is gonna help accentuate this stretch down the back of those hamstrings. Keep that chest tall though, eyes out in front of those fingertips. The further back you sit in this, the more it's gonna load up your hamstrings and glutes rather than your back, and intensify that stretch for 3, 2, 1. We're gonna walk those hands on out into that cobra pose. Hips in, pushing through the tops of those feet. Keeping it here, feeling that stretch. Personally, the more you push down on those feet and those thighs come off the ground, the more intense the stretch becomes. Hold it here for 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna kick our knees out and apart. Sit the hips back like we're trying to get our hips to our heels. Feel that stretch in the hip flexors here. Keep it here for 3, 2, 1. And bring those hands on in. Now, we're gonna hit your calves here. You're gonna drive your hips up. Try to get your heels to touch the ground. Walk it out. You'll see I bend one side, and then I straighten it out, and I bend the other side. Getting that stretch in that calf. Keeping it here for 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna hit that IT bend. So drive the heel up, tuck the hip, chuck that knee in, drop that hip down towards the ground. Feel that stretch in that glute. Keeping it here for 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go ahead, sit up in it. Feel free to walk your calves out again if you want to hit them again. But when you're ready, bring that other heel up, tuck that knee in, sit back on that hip. Keeping it here for 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go ahead, step that foot back, inchworm our way up. Take a deep breath in as we come up. And this time as you exhale, push your palms up towards the sky, getting a little bit tall with every exhale for 3, 2, 1. Bringing your hands down to a lovely round of applause, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this weekly workout. Next one will come out either Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to be honest with you guys. My schedule's all over the place, so I don't know what I'm doing. Feel free to go ahead and check them out here. If you want to download them, you'll be able to do that on my Patreon page. That's where all of my thoughts and processes go. So feel free to go ahead, tune in there, see what's up. Follow me here, wherever you like, Instagram, YouTube, whatever the case may be. With that said, guys, you have a great rest of your week. Hope to see you soon for your next one. In case I don't, have a great rest of your week.